The tool I chose to focus on is Kahoot, a free game show style quiz game that allows instant reporting of scores. It shows how many students chose each answer, can highlight what the most difficult question was, puts individual student results in spreadsheet form if you want. Super helpful. I'm definitely looking forward to using Kahoot because it easily hits many of the ISTE standards. One of my interviewees is a foreign language teacher and described a lesson plan she developed where students needed to retrieve information quickly rather than correct or reflect on their answers. And that's a really good distinction to make with Kahoot. Joyce said students are unlikely to want to stray from the Kahoot website due to the competitive nature of the game, but she recommended setting expectations before playing anyways. She wrote, curiosity being human nature, the kids always wanted to know who was the one person that got it wrong. So she recommended reminding students, everyone's at a different place, mind your own business. When I played a Kahoot against myself, I saw the moderator can boot players off with one click, especially if they give themselves an inappropriate nickname. The sample that I played made that expectation clear for you by showing a warning message to the players on screen. Darby suggested requiring students to turn in Kahoots that they make ahead of time and filtering them for anything inappropriate. Joyce called Kahoot a differentiated activity in itself. It is tactile because students just click a big solid color button on the screen to answer, and that doesn't require a ton of fine motor skills, so it would be accessible to students with a wide range of disabilities and needs. It's also verbal and visual, as Darby pointed out. I gathered that students would play Kahoot every day if they could. Joyce emphasized, though, that using a variety of high and low tech when teaching or reviewing information is really important, especially for lower grades where they still need to practice their penmanship. Team mode is a great way to include collaboration on Kahoot as long as the teacher isn't using Kahoot as an assessment of individual students. You can also share your screens with other classrooms in your school or even with other classrooms globally, which is super cool. Kahoot isn't exactly a tangible artifact, as Joyce said, but the game is an authentic product presentable in real-world scenario. One source I read recommended designing a Kahoot for teacher professional development meetings, so that's an idea. Darby has students who have mastered a topic make their own Kahoots for the class to play. She mentioned the idea that students in higher level of a subject could make Kahoots for the lower grades. There could be competition between classes, especially for middle school or high school. A common theme was asking yourself how you will manage your classroom considering the competitive nature of the game. So setting expectations, moderating consistently, choosing calmer music if needed, walking around the room, all those could help with any behavior problems that could arise. Also, ask how you can use Kahoot's reporting features, which are very powerful in a smarter way. On to the lesson plan analysis using the 5 diagnostic questions. It's a concise second grade lesson plan on identifying and writing with adjectives and adverbs. Feel free to pause the video to get the gist. Does this lesson ensure the students stay safe while using the technology? Yes, her school provides a safe search engine, but it's not clear if unrelated iPad apps are locked. Hold on, I need to get my chicken. Okay. Expectations for how to handle the iPads and technology physically aren't scripted in this lesson. Number 2, has this lesson provided enough technological choice given the needs and available tech resources of the students, along with tools for thinking through an informed selection? This lesson demonstrates choice with boundaries. There's not choice of tech, So instructions need to be clear. The lesson assumes all the tech is available in the classroom, but you could modify the lesson to use less tech on the publishing and research side of things if you needed to. There is an absolute minimum for using Kahoot because it's web-based and requires some tools. As I said earlier, though, Kahoot lends itself to differentiation. Students choose what to research and describe, but it's limited to animals. They get to choose sources, but I think this lesson was a little too open on that given the ages of the kids, so I would probably limit them to a few good websites that I could curate for them. Question 3. Has the teacher planned an authentic learning experience where the teacher can model a design process and challenge students to use a design process themselves? It is an authentic learning experience, but design process isn't a part of it. She could do a little meta discourse in the lesson and describe her own design process in coming up with the lesson. It would be more the writing process I think she would highlight than the design process in this lesson though. Question 4. What collaboration opportunities have been provided for the students? This lesson lends itself to individual work. One extended lesson idea is to pair up, trade finished drafts, highlight adjectives and adverbs in your partner's work, give it back, and discuss any questions or differences of opinion, and then bring it back to whole group time after that. Question 5. How can students demonstrate their learning, publish or present their work, and reflect on their learning? By printing and sharing work in this lesson, that's great, but I'm not sure what choices students are given with how their work is shared. Is it posted on a board somewhere? Do you read it aloud or what? But publishing is a great aspect of this lesson. There's so much more to learn about Kahoot, but for now, I think it is safe, medium tech, can be differentiated, authentic, can be collaborative, and allows for student publishing in really fun ways.